2003, before Sheikh Faisal...
I'm not going to get a word in, I told you.
2003, what happened was this.
I'm not going to get a word in.
He was in a meeting where Sheikh Faisal was about to go to prison for actually enticing violence and extremism. He was in a meeting saying that you should support this brother at court. You denied it was
I'm not going to get a word in.
You have got the voice recognition done. And what it is, no. The voice recognition, let me say my piece.
I'm not going to get a word in.
Has been done.
Let me get a word in. Hello. While I was watching this, I remember something.
And by apologists for Islamic supremacism like Adnan Rashid, a man who has, according to many, and I've heard the video, attended meetings by Islamic supremacists and ISIS supporters. His voice can be heard in the tapes. He says that they were made up. I've seen the video myself. The voice that I hear in those recordings sounds exactly like Adnan's does. So, just be aware of what kind of apologist is making the argument today. Now,
do you agree? Crazy, wait. It's my turn. It's my turn. I abhor groups like ISIS. I call them Khawarij. Okay? And these Islamophobes, previously I had some respect for Bob. But the moment he mentioned the notion that I was supporting extremism, okay, I have lost all respect. No respect anymore. No mercy. He's a liar. He's a liar. You can go. You can go. No, I don't want to shake your hand.
Now notice.
Don't run away.
No. I'm still speaking. I'm still speaking.
Stood here
Just go. Just
for
go.
over
Just
an
go.
hour.
Just go.
Trying
It's my turn to speak. It's my turn to speak.
The Ottoman
It's my turn
Caliphate
to speak.
and the supremacy.
You can remain silent all that time. Okay. You can remain silent.
Trying to defend it.
Okay. So
Now, ladies and
you said you were
gentlemen.
going to go.
Ladies and
Let me
gentlemen.
finish and then you can go.
Yet, we all know now that what Bob was saying was absolutely true. At some point in your life, many years ago, 13 years ago, you were supporting extremists. You are not supporting them now, that's true. You are not supporting ISIS now. You are not an extremist now, but you were supporting extremists. And that's exactly what Bob said. And that's true, as we see in this video.
The beef you when you become the oppressors. Other than that,
For example, like, you see man like Adnan Rashid? See man like him in the park.
No, but
What would you class Adnan Rashid as? Adnan Rashid's a moderate Muslim. He don't think like me, yeah? You don't think that, innit, yeah? Go back. Listen, go back 10 years. Go back 10 years. You will see Adnan Rashid repping the same man as I rep.
Yep,
yeah?
I agree
in
with
the
that.
same lectures that I was in.
Yep.
All of us came from the same branches. It's just certain people just became cowards.
So Abdullah, what branches are those? What would you say the labels are?
I think brothers and sisters in Islam, I don't know if sisters can hear me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu wa-salamu ala khairul anbiya wal mursaleen. Amma ba'd. Brothers and sisters, I'll start with a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sheikh is in a problem today. His trial is going on and no brothers are turning up to the case. And we come to listen to his lectures. When we go to the Jummah, where he goes for Jummah, there are 500 people there. But when we go to the court, there are only 20 people or maximum 10, 15 people turning up to the court. So our salah, our zakah and our sawm are I'm no one to judge, but I'm saying only Allah knows if they're being accepted or not. But our salah, when our brother is in problem and we're ignoring that, and we're not even putting our attention to that, and we're praying salah and we're paying zakah and sawm, only Allah knows if it's going to be accepted in these circumstances. The biggest fard today, one of the biggest fard we have today to support the brothers who are in problems, right? So Sheikh Faisal, he's got his trial going on, and his barrister was saying that he was complaining that none of the brothers are turning up. What's wrong with the brothers? Are they too scared of kuffar? Or what's the reason why they're not supporting you in this? So what my request to brother is, volunteer to come to the court to give moral support to the Sheikh Faisal, as it's one of our biggest duties in this time, and reward will come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to support a brother in a problem. Like I just gave you an example of a book. Allah loved him so much for this reason. Rasulullah said, any Sahaba or Umar radiallahu anhu, all of his life is good. Anything he's done in his life cannot match with 3 nights he spent with Rasulullah just to be there, not to do nothing, just to be and sit down with him. So us going to the court and supporting Sheikh Faisal morally, only Allah knows what the reward is going to be for that. But I'm 100% sure, the brother's in problem and us supporting us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will love us for that, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide us for that, inshallah ta'ala. So my request to brothers and sisters is to support Sheikh Faisal as much as they can, by any means necessary, inshallah ta'ala.
So, you, at some point in your life, you were an extremist. Also, your child, at some point in his life, he was also tuning to be an extremist. Therefore, you have a first-hand experience how easy is young Muslim people being decepted by political Islam. So, what is your beef against Tommy Robinson when he's saying exactly that? Something that you have first-hand experience that it happens. Yourself was an extremist, and your child, which is a very good kid now, and it's a very good kid, but at some point, he also... Let's look at this video.
Tonight on Exposure. At a fundraising event at one registered charity with an income of over £600,000 a year, fighting abroad is seen as an option.
And the more action you give, the more charity you give, the more dua you make, the more you go there. Whether you make jihad, defending the Prophet's sisters.
And we asked the Charity Commission if they're doing enough to challenge extremism.
You know why we can't tell them that. But what we can tell them is to learn the Quran, to start praying. Once they have the iman in their heart and they feel that the Ummah's problem is their problem, they will start to act by themselves. The first level is for worship. The second level is on top of that worship with more action. And the more action you give, the more charity you give, the more dua you make, the more you go there. Whether you make jihad, defending the Prophet's sisters.
What if you have an option? I have an option to go and help.
And you're already someone who's praying?
Yeah.
And if you can go?
Yeah.
Go. If I go over there, I'll probably be less helpful there as I can be here. But there could be someone here who's a doctor, he's got money, he's got strength, he's got, power. He can go over there, he'll be more help there than he would be here. So it depends, you have to ask yourself, you have to make istikhara. What can I do for this ummah? Everyone must ask that question.
If a person comes to the realization that he's probably more helpful in Syria than he is here raising money for them, and his faith is strong,
We want to go to Syria? The borders or in Syria?
In Syria.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you sincere. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide you every step of the way. So you do things when he's taking his...
At a charity event,
The analogy is the same way young kids in the West, at some point in their life, maybe they did drugs, maybe they did alcohol. In the Muslim communities, at some point in their life, they become kind of radical. Let's go to Syria and join ISIS. Then the Dawah man, this guy, condemned ISIS. But here we see, you advise people to go to Syria. The guy next to him is the son of Adnan Rashid. Okay, so there is a huge problem in the Muslim community regarding this. You have first-hand experience from yourself and your son that this happens. So what's your beef against Tommy Robinson? Trying to expose this thing in heaven. So, was Tommy Robinson wrong in his statement? No, he was absolutely correct. Okay, absolutely correct.
Every single time the media tries to present us with Muslims who challenge preconceptions, I can spend 10 minutes digging into their past and I find things like this
every time. Okay, there is a moderated Muslim.
Why should I condemn? He's saying he's not an extremist. He has nothing to do with any extremist. But you support Tommy Robinson.
Why has he just
you
done what?
Support
why has
Tommy
Abu
Robinson.
Qasim done
you
what he's
support
just
Tommy
done?
Robinson.
Why has Abu Qasim done what he's just done?
Do you have any shame?
Why?
Steve,
Why is Abu?
do you have
do you
any
answer
morality?
Do
you have any morality?
Do you ever answer
do you have
a question?
any shame?
Do you
Steve?
ever have a?
Do you condemn Tommy
possibility?
Robinson?
Why did Abu
Do you
Qasim
condemn
just
Tommy
do what he
Robinson?
did? Why did Abu Qasim?
Tommy
Don't
Robinson
change
is the man who caused terrorist attacks against Muslims.
At a high cost. It is you. Why did you lie? Secondly, when we told you about Abu Qasim Muhammad Haddad, this guy, was at court for 1 year at the Old Bailey for supporting Sheikh Faisal again. So Sheikh Faisal, he was putting his literature online. Now there are two links with you and Sheikh Faisal. One time you denied in 2003, and we know it's you. You can't deny no more.
Okay.
Secondly, when it comes to this particular time, Abu Qasim, we told you 3 months ago that this individual, Abu Qasim Muhammad Haddad, was an extremist that has been filmed with Anjem Chowdhury for 2 years. We have video footage of him, Vice News. And Abu Qasim, you asked him on camera, you did a nice little piece where you rehearsed it and you made him deny the fact that he's your cameraman. Instead of what you should have done was that, no, I do it my way. Well, instead of what you've done, which should have been to say, Abu Qasim, are you an extremist? Are you linked to these people? And if you are, we're going to disassociate yourselves. Like Shamsi and other people did on Paul. And now they're being ostracized because they condemned this guy instead of being praised. And now even your boy Ali Dawah has been criticizing Spubs. I'm not sure who they are. I know there's Shamsi in them lot. And Paul Williams. Now the point we just saw of Adnan Rashid for 2 years straight, this man has been coming up to him and me saying we're paid instigators, we're Islamophobes and we're racist. Now what we're going to do, because you're saying we're an extreme.
Yeah, now it's the time where we expose how much of a clown you were. Believe it or not, I also follow Speaker's Corner. And I also knew Abu Qasim. It was the guy with this symbol, with a hand doing the God is one symbol. Okay, I am a Greek guy in the island of Rhodos. Okay? And I knew this guy was radical. He was an ISIS supporter, totally radical, okay? I was watching his videos, and he was saying insane stuff, like offensive Jihad is justified, people should go to Syria. Okay, so imagine, a guy like me, who lives in Rhodos, in Greece, and I knew Abu Qasim. You like us to believe that you didn't know anything? The guy who is filming you, the guy that you protected against Steve. You didn't know anything, eh?
Sometimes we're talking about the same thing. Like we got a little stuck on the miracle.
He has to go back and report.
You right, Abu? You, Mr. Qasim. You, Mr. Qasim, isn't it? How you doing, Abu? What were you doing on Aldwych yesterday? What were you doing on Aldwych yesterday? They weren't a very nice bunch of people you were with yesterday, were they? What were you doing with Hizb ut-Tahrir, Abu? Abu, what were you doing with Hizb ut-Tahrir? Calling for a world caliphate. You were calling for a caliphate on Aldwych yesterday, Abu. What do you have to say, Abu? What do you have to say about your friend Anjem? What do you have to say about your friend Anjem Chowdhury? You still hanging out with Anjem Chowdhury, Abu?
What does it actually mean?
You still hanging out with Anjem Chowdhury, Abu? Abu, you seem a bit quiet. Are you still hanging out with Anjem Chowdhury? How's Anjem Chowdhury, Abu? Are you still praying with Anjem Chowdhury? Are you still praying with Anjem, Abu? You're very quiet, Abu. Why are you so quiet, Abu? Mr. Qasim, why are you so quiet? How's Anjem? Send him my best regards, won't you? So, Abu, you're filming here today for Adnan, are you? Adnan and Mansour. Abu, you're filming for Adnan Rashid today, are you? Does Anjem Chowdhury know what you're doing today? Does Adnan know what you're doing, I wonder? You are an associate of Anjem Chowdhury, aren't you, Abu?
Why don't you respond to him that he's
Exactly. You're an associate of Anjem Chowdhury.
Who is worse, Tommy Robinson?
Oh, let me think. Anjem Chowdhury or Tommy Robinson? Let me think.
The same.
I mean, look the insanity of Adnan Rashid. He said, okay, he compared Tommy Robinson with Anjem Chowdhury. Okay, let's make something absolutely clear. Tommy Robinson is a hero, no less than a hero. A perfectly good, not just good, a noble guy. Tommy Robinson is a noble guy. Is a young British lad that is trying to help the British community and the Muslim community against radicals. Okay? And he is comparing him with Anjem Chowdhury, responsible for sending half of the fighters in Syria to join ISIS. I mean, that is how their mind is not balanced. Okay? This is the Islamist. Adnan Rashid is an Islamist. But let's continue to watch this video.
They're both the same. He loves one of them, and you love the other one.
But this man prays with Anjem Chowdhury. Only 4 years ago. There's photographic evidence. There's video evidence. Have a look at my Twitter feed. Abu, have a look at my Twitter feed, and you'll see yourself. You'll see yourself out with Anjem Chowdhury 4 years ago. You'll see yourself praying immediately behind Anjem Chowdhury 4 years ago. What do you have to say? Are you still praying with Anjem Chowdhury? Are you still praying with Anjem Chowdhury? What do you have to say? You have nothing to say. 4 years ago, you were out with Anjem Chowdhury praying. Do you have anything to say, Abu? Do you have nothing to say, Abu, about Anjem Chowdhury?
If you cannot respond, let me respond. This guy is an open supporter of Tommy Robinson.
What were you doing with Anjem Chowdhury? Abu, what were you doing with Anjem Chowdhury?
An Islamophobe, and he's in prison right now as we speak for breaking the law.
And what about Anjem Chowdhury, Abu? What about Anjem Chowdhury?
That's the rational and moral disintegration of Adnan Rashid. Okay. He compares Tommy Robinson, a guy who just criticizes Islam for what it is, a guy just telling the truth about Islam, with these guys, butchers, okay, butchers in the magnitude of horror movies, okay, people that kill. Okay, before Islam, before Islamic radicalism, this stuff we were just seeing in movies. A guy with a butcher knife killing people in the street with a butcher knife. Okay, and this guy, Adnan Rashid, compares Tommy Robinson, a journalist, with this guy. Yeah, right, Adnan. We are convinced now. But let's ponder for a moment what just happened. This guy, the cameraman, was praying together with Anjem Chowdhury. Anjem Chowdhury is directly responsible for this. Directly, okay? This guy was another follower of Anjem Chowdhury. And Adnan Rashid, having the cameraman filming him, doesn't think it's something to notice, yet he accused everybody else at Speaker's Corner of being a radical. And next to him is a real radical, and He whistles. He whistles. Okay, that's enough.
Us filming it on his phone and told the world why.
Yeah. The only reason we have killed this man today is because Muslims are dying daily by British soldiers. And this British soldier is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
And I know what he's going to do. You support Tommy Robinson. You support Tommy Robinson. You're a hypocrite. Big deal. The point is, we don't give a shit if you believe you support Tommy Robinson. What we want to know is, who do you support? Because I'm saying now I do support Tommy Robinson. Who do you support? Have you still support for all these extremists? Haitham al-Haddad, he's been banned in how many countries? He's your Ustad. You was at Cage actually defending a woman who's now in prison, who was instigating terrorism in Pakistan and places.
I'm not going to get a word in.
What we want to know with yourself is, why do you lie so much? Are you a Shia doing taqiyya 24/7? I'm only joking. So basically, you're always confronting the Shias, are always doing taqiyya.
Okay.
Now the thing about yourself,
how long did he speak for?
Is that you come into Speaker's Corner pretending to be this liberal guy, but you have links within your own Dawah teams, and instead of confronting them like me and Steve told you to, what you said in one of the recordings to Steve 3 months ago, you support an extremist and you support an extremist. So you're both the same.
Okay.
Now, so that to me means that you might have had an understanding.
I'm not going to get a word in.
You said enough, you idiot, already. Okay? You were talking for months, accusing everyone of being an extremist. Now is the exposition time, my friend. It's not the time you speak. Now is the time we ridicule you. You had time to speak and you were whistling. The time you had to speak, you were whistling, my friend.
Neighborhood. You know, I was walking towards this masjid with our Imam Uthman, and I asked him about this neighborhood, and he said this neighborhood is all mostly non-Muslim, predominantly white people, okay? And my question was, how are we going to give them da'wah? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put you and I in this country for a purpose, right? Yes? We have come here for a purpose. And the purpose is da'wah. The purpose was not to make shops and drive buses and do other things. MashaAllah, halal, earning halal is a good thing. It's not a problem. But why do you earn? The question is, why do you make money? Is it to feed your stomachs? Is it to buy gold?
No, it's to promote political Islam in Britain. Let me rephrase that. It's essentially through political and social means enslaving Britain and making it a totalitarian dictatorship. That is your goal. That is your goal. What's your name? Make Britain an Islamic state using dawah, peaceful means. And then you have the nerve to attack, accusing of being Islamophobes, racist, extremist, everyone who opposes your agenda of making Britain an Islamic state. Okay? Look in what levels you are doing that. Once upon a time, there was a peaceful preacher that came from Canada to Speaker's Corner. And look what happened.
You know what I notice about y'all people in England? You guys are a bunch of politically correct people. And it's so fake and phony, it's disgusting. Disgusting. Islam is not the same thing as Christianity. Neither is Judaism the same. Listen, they're different. Let's be honest. Stop with this lies and saying, well, we believe the same thing. No, you don't. You do not believe the same Jesus as Christians. No, you don't. It's a different Jesus. Let's face it. One Jesus died on the cross, the other didn't. So it's better to be honest so that we can actually deal with the problem. But nonetheless, the fact of the matter is, I started reading, I saw good things. I remember when I was in high school, the first time I ever preached a message, I was telling people they need to repent of sin. I never knew John 3:16. I never knew. All I knew is whoever confesses the name of the Lord must depart from iniquity. That was my message. I was like a John the Baptist for my community. And I needed that. And so I told everybody, repent. Turn from your sin. Turn to God. Have faith in God. This is what I preach.
When the question time comes, please let me know because
I'm not talking to you.
No problem.
I'll talk to someone more qualified. I'm not talking to you. So anyway, listen.
You don't talk to me.
So I told everybody to
when he opens questions, please do let me know.
Talk to him is because I've dealt with many infidels in the past. And I'm going to tell you something.
These are Islamophobes from Canada who have come to London to spread hatred against Islam. That's why they wouldn't like to answer our questions. He's a well-known Islamophobe. He's a hate preacher. He's a well-known hate preacher. An international hate preacher. That's why he doesn't want to talk to us. That's why he's unable to have a civilized discussion.
I'm not allowed to even share my story.
So here we saw naive, sweet preacher. Okay, if I see this guy in the street, okay, he's a naive, sweet preacher of the street. And Adnan Rashid called him an international Islamophobe. Really? An international hate preacher. Really? In other words, Adnan Rashid, everyone who dares in the slightest to criticize Islam, immediately you name him an Islamophobe, a hate preacher, an extremist. And then you have real extremists near you and you whistle. Abu Hasim is near me 2 meters. Let's focus on the random sweet preacher in the street who looks like Santa Claus.
Is it to buy a flashy car? Is it to put a carpet in your house? All of these things will remain behind. This church was made in 1930s, right? And as the Sheikh put it, who was worshipped here? The Trinity. Yes? And now it belongs to the Muslims. Now it belongs to the Muslims. And if you don't stand up today, brothers and sisters, and take control of this situation which Allah has given you, this is an opportunity. And if you don't take advantage of this opportunity, tomorrow only Allah knows who will be controlling this building.
Adnan Rashid is not an evil person. He's just an idiot. He's a good guy that has an evil ideology in his mind. In contradiction with Christianity, Adnan Rashid, Islam is a totalitarian, dictatorial, political ideology. When you say we will dominate, you mean that you will enslave Britain. In other words, Adnan Rashid. Just because you are too dumb to understand that you are saying evil things, that doesn't mean that you are not saying evil things.
The purpose of the advent of the Prophet of Islam was nothing but mercy. And this was the message that was to be taken around the world. And to a large extent, Muslims did succeed in delivering this mercy and justice to the best of their abilities, respectively, in different places around the world. Al-Andalus was one of those places. But why did the Muslims end up in Al-Andalus in Spain in the first place? What were they doing there? Thousands of miles away from Arabia, where the Prophet of Islam was born. What were the Muslims doing outside in the first place? This was primarily to deliver the justice of Islam to those who didn't have it.
In other words, in your idiotic mind, you think that you are delivering justice. Okay? You are thinking you are doing good. You are a good person. You think that let's make Britain an Islamic state to deliver the justice. Like Hamza Georges was saying, look at this.
Your nation, you have to love your nation, your qawm. All the prophets loved their people. But never make it to the point where it becomes over your deen. SubhanAllah, I came and met the brothers yesterday. Do you know what I said to them? I said, we, the Ottomans, we must re-invade Greece. This is the country of my father. But I think, but brothers and sisters, I think we have to re-invade Greece, not to kill anybody, no.
Not to kill anybody? not to kill anybody. You will make us this favor. How about Hamza? How about we hang you from this tree? How about that? I mean, I know you are good guys, but what you are saying is insane. Hitler would have said that. You don't get to invade countries to spread the justice of Islam. Just because Islam has fucked your head, that doesn't mean that immoral things became moral.
Guys, wait, Raj, Steve, listen to me for a second. If you keep interrupting him, it doesn't matter what he says, he'll play it off to the camera and he wins on camera. You lose if you keep interrupting him. Because everybody will see you interrupting him and not giving him a chance.
Show me a video of Speaker's Corner ever where someone's not interrupted.
Now, there's a reason. I will not speak. I will say my side. The reason why these people are so desperate to link me with these dodgy extremists is because they see me as a threat in the park. They see me as an intellectual threat.
No, actually, it's because you were linked with these extremists. That's the reason. It's because you were linked with these extremists.
Okay, they have lost in debates. They have lost. Okay, wait.
Guys,
sorry.
Is that how it works in Islamabad?
Okay.
Listen, guys. Let's not go for.
I will say what I have to say. These people see me as an intellectual threat in the park.
You are laughable, okay? Let me laugh also. Intellectual threat, my friend. Even if I am drunk and somebody hits me in the head with a globe, I can defeat you intellectually, okay? You have nothing to say intellectually. You are a complete buffoon. Complete buffoon.
Okay? They have miserably lost in debates and discussions.
Yeah. Let's go forward to see whether you have another argument.
Now we don't talk to them because they're extremely disingenuous, and for that reason they are bitter. They are lonely. They are lonely now, and what they're doing now, because we don't talk to them, because they don't deserve our time and our attention, they are now going online and they are peddling lies against people like me. For the last 10 years, I've been a public figure. I have hundreds of speeches online, hundreds of speeches. They are saying I'm an extremist, right? That's what they're saying.
Nobody ever said that. Let me explain what we are saying. We are saying that you were an extremist 15 years ago, that you lie about this fact. We are accusing you that although you were notified about, what's his name? Okay, this Abdullah Blues. You didn't do anything about this. The people who notified you about the radical in your midst, you ostracized them. Mansour and Hassim ostracized Paul, ostracized, I cannot say this word, although it's a Greek word. From where this word is coming from? In ancient Greece, whoever politician they didn't like, people were permitted to write his name in a pottery pot, and whoever name was took the most votes, he was exiled from the country. And guess who the Athenians exiled? Themistocles. Themistocles was the general that saved Athens. But because he became so famous, like a god, and people were afraid that he will ruin democracy, they wrote his name in a pedal, and he was exiled from his country, and he died in exile. That's how important was democracy in ancient Greece. Now, you did the same to Paul. Okay, you didn't exile him from Britain, but you ostracized him because he notified you about a radical in your midst. Now, that would have been fine if you didn't every day accuse everyone of being a radical. The other thing we are accusing you is for being an Islamist, thriving to promote political Islam in this world. So, you are guilty about this. You are promoting extremists by accusing everyone who is doing something against extremists as an Islamophobe, hate preacher, etc., racist. So, in fact, you are promoting extremists by smearing every legitimate criticism against Islam. You are promoting extremists. You, the regressive left, and feminists, the unholy alliance. Thank you very much. Yes, hello people, nice to meet you. My name is Sokratesan, and yes, I will do a karaoke song. In the last video, I didn't do a karaoke song, and many people were complaining. Some started a riot in UK. There was a mini riot. The police managed to solve this riot in a couple of hours. But to avoid social unrest, I will do a karaoke song. And yes, okay, I said, and yes, 3 times now. Okay. In this karaoke, I will sing my own song, please. It's my own song. Oh, no, oh, oh. La, la, ah, la, la.
Κάθε λεπτό που περνάει στη σκέψη μου είσαι εσύ. Και η καρδιά λαχταράει πότε θα έρθεις να σε δει. Κι όταν κοντά μου σε έχω το αίμα κυλάει ζεστά. Και η αγάπη που σου έχω είναι μεγάλη φωτιά.
Για τα μάτια σου μόνο εγώ πεθαίνω, δακρύζω, τελειώνω. Για τα μάτια σου μόνο σε ερωτεύτηκα.
Για τα μάτια σου μόνο εγώ αντέχω τον πόνο κι ας λιώνω. Για τα μάτια σου μόνο
όλα τα δέχτηκα.
Για τα μάτια σου μόνο για τα μάτια σου μόνο. Κάθε λεπτό που περνάει συνέχεια εσένα ζητώ.
Και η ανάσα σου μου λείπει
όσο δεν είσαι εδώ.
Κι όταν κοντά μου σε έχω
ένα βλέμμα σου είναι αρκετό.
να ξαναδώσει το κορμί μου που είναι κενό. Για τα μάτια σου μόνο εγώ πεθαίνω, δακρύζω, τελειώνω. Now you understand why I didn't sing this one. Για τα μάτια σου μόνο. Why it stopped? I didn't stop this. It stopped by itself. I don't know the reason. Okay, maybe it will continue by itself also. In the meanwhile, okay, thank you very much. Για τα μάτια σου μόνο εγώ δακρύζω, τελειώνω.
Για τα μάτια σου
μόνο σε ερωτεύτηκα.
Για τα μάτια σου μόνο
εγώ
αντέχω το πόνο κι ας λιώνω. Για τα μάτια σου μόνο όλα τα δέχτηκα. Για τα μάτια σου μόνο
για τα μάτια σου μόνο.